After months of controversy, industry backlash, and non-stop fan outrage, Disney has officially confirmed that it will reboot Snow White. This isn't just another remake. It's Disney's attempt to clean up a massive mess, win back angry fans, and fix what many are calling one of the studio's biggest failures in years.
The movie is doing catastrophically. They spent $300 million and it currently has a 2.2 out of 10 rating on IMDb.
The movie has a major identity crisis.
And there is no resolution in sight for the Walt Disney Company when it comes to Snow White 2025 at the box office. This is exactly why Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, is in pure panic mode over not just the Rachel Zegler backlash, but the entire backlash surrounding this movie in general.
Who the hell are you to say all of Andrew scenes could get cut? Like, who are you?
Oh my God.
Are you Disney? I've read your book, and I have. It's a phenomenal book. You're losing generation of loyal viewers.
The announcement comes after the heavily criticized version starring Rachel Zegler, a project that many now see as one of Disney's biggest flops in recent years. Speaking at a private media event, Disney executives described the new version as a course correction, a way to get things back on track after everything went so wrong.
And just how once trusted critics that shilled for the Disney Company all the time, even they are beginning to turn their back against them. That's how bad this movie truly is. Even if you look at the IMDb rating score, that's when you really know how terrible this movie is and how it really hit rock bottom.
Now, Disney is promising a return to classic storytelling, a renewed tribute to the heart and soul of the original fairy tale. They're not just making another movie. They're trying to win back the trust of audiences who feel betrayed and repair the strained relationship with generations of fans who grew up loving Snow White. The Rachel Zegler version was pitched as a bold, modern feminist take on the 1937 classic. But from the very beginning, it grabbed attention for all the wrong reasons. The film took wild turns away from the original story, and those drastic changes didn't sit well with longtime Disney supporters. What was supposed to feel empowering ended up feeling disrespectful to the magic that made the original so beloved.
There's a big focus on her love story. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
These big bad feminists now are telling us that's ridiculous. How dare you want to meet a handsome prince and be swept off of your feet and live happily ever after? No, you should want to be the prince. You should want to go out and fight the bad guys with a sword.
While the studio believed it was paving a bold, progressive path forward, fans didn't see it that way at all. Instead of praise, the internet exploded with criticism. Social media lit up after Rachel Zegler made comments that many saw as dismissive, even insulting, toward the legacy of the original film. She called the prince irrelevant and the love story awkward, and those remarks quickly went viral. What followed was not just debate, it was a full-blown backlash, sparking widespread resentment from fans who felt that the heart of a beloved classic was being carelessly torn apart.
After one hell of a PR tour, Disney's live-action Snow White is finally, I know, you're wondering.
Behind the scenes, Disney insiders say the backlash caught executives completely off guard. Early test screenings had already shown lukewarm reactions, but the full impact didn't hit until the movie's official trailer dropped. That's when everything exploded. Fan communities, nostalgic viewers, and even film critics came together in frustration, united by one thing: their disappointment in the drastic changes made to a story that had once defined Disney magic.
This is just so typical of the left. The progressives always finding a way to find their way back to doing something not progressive.
It's got extra musical numbers that are incredibly unnecessary that really add to that runtime. And let me go ahead and let you know that they're absolutely atrocious.
Disney deleted Someday My Prince Will Come and made a modernized feminist alternative.
Or what?
They're leaning into woke. Hardcore.
They're petrified of some kind of backlash.
The backlash wasn't just intense, it refused to die down. For weeks, hashtags slamming Disney's creative choices were trending non-stop. Reports said the studio's PR teams were working overtime, scrambling to do damage control and put out fires across the internet. Now, in a clear attempt to distance themselves from the fallout, Disney has officially announced a brand new Snow White project, with production set to begin in late 2025. It's not just a new remake, it's a full reset.
And you have parents looking at Disney being like, what are you doing, guys? Like, this is supposed to be a place where magic happens, and all you're doing is indoctrinating kids, and you're having this person be the poster child of the Democratic Party.
While the official cast hasn't been confirmed yet, Disney made one thing very clear. This remake will return to the emotional core and visual charm of the original animated classic. That means bringing back beloved characters, iconic musical numbers, and the magical fairy tale atmosphere that critics say was completely missing from the last version. The decision to launch a new adaptation so soon after the previous one shows just how urgent the situation is and how much is riding on this project. For Disney, this isn't just about remaking a movie. It's about saving one of their most treasured stories from being permanently damaged.
Look no further than what Disney is doing with their woke, DEI, feminist agenda.
They spent $170 million to make the thing, and it had the lowest opening, under $50 million, of any of these live-action Disney remakes that they've ever had.
Disney has been under growing pressure to defend its recent wave of live-action remakes, many of which have seen declining success, both critically and financially. And with the Snow White brand now at risk of being permanently tarnished, studio executives believe that a carefully crafted reboot could be the key to redemption. They're hoping this new version can reconnect with the audience that once adored it. Interestingly, insiders say the upcoming remake will feature a more traditional story arc, closely following the original 1937 plot while allowing room for a few subtle, respectful updates.
Tell me if this is attractive to you. Like, does this, imagine you invested into her being the face of the movie and she's the main character and she's trying to promote the movie. Would this make you want to go watch the movie when she's starring in it and she's the main character?
The changes, insiders say, will be respectful, not revisionist. According to one producer, the goal isn't to fix what was never broken, but rather to reintroduce timeless themes with a touch of modern elegance. This shift in tone marks a clear break from the previous attempt, which many felt was too eager to tear down the foundations of the original story. Rumors are already swirling, even though Disney has declined to comment on any specific details so far.
She destroyed hundreds of millions of dollars worth of IP for Disney, but she also has destroyed her career and the careers of anybody who worked on the movie.
Anonymous sources close to the production suggest that Disney is searching for a lead actress who embodies the classic elegance of old Hollywood, someone with charisma, warmth, and strong vocal talent. Unlike the last film, where off-screen comments became a major distraction, this new project will reportedly include stricter media training protocols to make sure the messaging stays focused and in line with the film's core themes. Disney clearly wants to avoid another PR disaster and keep the spotlight where it belongs, on the story itself.
The producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
And then they had to hire a special media consultant for her to follow her around all the time and make sure she didn't continue shitting on Snow White.
Then they got even crazier and they decided that the dwarves in Snow White weren't woke enough, okay?
Did the dwarfs make it or no?
Well, the CGI dwarfs did. Of course, that goes back to the original controversy where Peter Dinklage, a very talented little person actor, said, why are we doing that? We've hired a Latina actress to be Snow White. That's progressive. But you're going to hire little people to play the dwarfs? That just seems like a step backwards. And then, of course, Disney instantly buckled and said, okay, we're going to add magical creatures.
Disney's renewed focus on a cohesive story comes after some tough lessons learned. Earlier this year, leaked documents revealed internal conflicts between the studio's marketing, creative, and PR departments during the rollout of Rachel Zegler's film. These behind-the-scenes disagreements led to mixed messaging and a promotional campaign that often felt scattered and, at times, even contradicted itself. The lack of alignment hurt the film's image, and this time, Disney is determined not to make the same mistake twice.
We'll still offend the dwarves, but we'll CGI dwarfs. So we'll guarantee no employment for little people while getting rid of this other component that warranted CGI. It was the worst decision they could possibly make.
You're replacing jobs that people could have as little people. Okay. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's for dwarfs. You know?
These are roles made for actors of my stature. I can't go out for the Harrison Ford or the George Clooney roles because that's not for me. Right. And now it's taken away.
The new Snow White reboot is being developed under much tighter supervision to make sure those past mistakes don't happen again. And this time, it's not just the movie's reputation on the line. Merchandise from the previous Snow White release performed way below expectations. Major retailers were slashing prices on toys and clothing just weeks after launch. A clear sign that fans weren't buying into it, literally or emotionally. Disney knows they can't afford another flop like that.
You could look at the fact that she has been sabotaging this film for years at this point, all in this sort of pursuit of entitlement.
Reports from Disney's Consumer Products division revealed that millions of dollars worth of merchandise went unsold. The financial hit was significant, and analysts say the company simply can't afford another commercial failure tied to one of its core properties. In response to these concerns, Disney has brought in an entirely new creative team to lead the reboot and steer the project in a more successful direction.
Please?
For which movie?
According to early reports, the new screenwriter is known for blending heartfelt emotion with strong, well-developed character arcs, a balance that many felt was missing from the last version. As for the director, their name is expected to be revealed in the coming weeks, but insiders say they bring experience from both animated and live-action films with global appeal. Disney is betting that this new creative duo can deliver something the last version didn't: depth, heart, and a story that truly connects with audiences around the world.
Disney responded by scaling back the premiere. I don't know that anyone really showed up to the premiere. The Rotten Tomatoes reviews are looking pretty bad, and they did. It seems like they tried to tweak a few things, but this movie is bad.
According to early reports, the screenwriter chosen for the reboot is known for skillfully combining emotional depth with strong character development, something many critics felt was completely lacking in the previous film. As for the director, their name hasn't been officially announced yet, but sources say they have solid experience working on both animated and live-action projects that have resonated with global audiences. Disney is putting its hopes in this new duo, believing they can bring something the last version couldn't: real heart, emotional impact, and a timeless story that speaks to fans everywhere.
So apparently, according to them and according to the writers of Snow White, women can't even want to be in love anymore.
Nobody wants a movie about true love? What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? The outrage.
Although the new story will mostly follow the original plot, some updates are unavoidable. Sources say the beloved forest animals will return, brought to life with upgraded animation that blends practical effects and CGI. These characters will be reimagined carefully, with extra attention to avoid the kind of controversy caused by previous redesigns or exclusions. Just like in the original film, music will once again play a major role, combining new songs with beautifully restored classics like Someday My Prince Will Come. But maybe the biggest surprise of all is Disney's decision to bring back veteran animators and consultants, people who helped shape the visual and emotional identity of Disney's golden era during the Renaissance period. These seasoned professionals have been brought on to guide the tone, pacing, and emotional flow of the new Snow White. According to insiders, Disney leadership now believes that reconnecting with the company's artistic roots is essential to rebuilding trust with audiences. The first press release for the project struck a noticeably humble tone, openly acknowledging past mistakes, without naming names. We recognize the importance of honoring the stories that helped build Disney into what it is today, the statement read. This new chapter of Snow White is rooted in that appreciation and our dedication to telling timeless stories for today's audience. The message was subtle, but clear. Disney knows it has to move forward carefully. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler has stayed mostly silent since the reboot was announced. Once praised for her breakout role in West Side Story, she found herself in the middle of an online firestorm last year when criticism of the previous Snow White film hit its peak. Though her media appearances were meant to promote empowerment, they were widely seen as tone-deaf and even disrespectful. Later, Zegler claimed her words had been taken out of context. But by then, the backlash had already taken on a life of its own. Her absence from the new movie was expected. While there hasn't been any official statement, sources say Disney is eager to start fresh, both on screen and off. Whether Zegler will comment publicly remains to be seen, but for now, she appears to be stepping away from the spotlight. And that seems to reflect Disney's own desire to keep the focus on the film, not the personalities behind it. At the same time, fans online are showing cautious optimism. The reboot announcement has sparked conversations about redemption, legacy, and what it really means to return to a story as sacred as Snow White. Some are still skeptical, but others are hopeful. "I just want the magic back," one user wrote. "Give me the songs, the romance, the animation style, the forest. I'll be there opening night if they get it right this time." Disney is counting on that feeling turning into real trust and ticket sales. The film is expected to begin pre-production in late 2025, with a theatrical release planned for spring 2027. Marketing is already in the works, with a long-term strategy that includes official artwork, early soundtrack previews, and behind-the-scenes featurettes to build hype. The studio is even in talks with Disney parks to reintroduce Snow White-themed attractions before the movie's debut. Whether this strategy will succeed where the last one failed is still up in the air. But one thing is certain, Disney is not willing to let Snow White stay in the shadow of a single misstep. This isn't just another remake, it's a reputational restoration effort for a studio that once defined the fairy tale genre. If the new version finds the right balance, it could remind the world why Snow White was the film that started it all. As work begins behind the scenes, executives are reportedly focusing hard on consistency, cohesion, and emotional impact. Everything, from costumes and casting to lighting, set design, and music, is being carefully reviewed by multiple departments to ensure it reflects both Disney's classic values and modern storytelling goals. Disney seems to understand now that no amount of corporate polish can replace the real magic of storytelling. And for this Snow White to truly succeed, it has to feel like coming home.